Installing Linux on random computers, episode 4. The Archos 9, or the Archos 9, I don't know. How do you pronounce this? Archos. Oh, okay, thanks for letting me know that. Anyways, this is possibly the least known system I've ever got my hands on. Because when I research it on the internet, sometimes I get the right info, and other times I get the wrong info. Because Archos decided to release another tablet with the same name. Oh well, that's fine. It doesn't matter, because what we're going to do in this video doesn't really need all the info of this tablet anyways. Every time I unplug the tablet for a while, the BIOS gets reset, like, completely. Like, it fixes December 2009. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're way past that. How do I go down again? Oh, right. This thing is a built-in trackpad, and you can use that to navigate in the BIOS. Isn't that cool? Probably not, because this thing sucks. Initially, when I got this thing, I was going to put Android on this thing, since this thing has a touchscreen. Unfortunately, due to the way this tablet works, I ended up installing Windows instead. Specifically, Windows Embedded Standard 7. It doesn't say 7, but it's Windows Embedded Standard 7, released back in 2010. It's basically Windows 7 for embedded devices, though this isn't technically an embedded device. It's still a low-end system, and that's what this version of Windows is. Oh great, the whole thing froze. The touchscreen doesn't work, nor does the trackpad. Awesome. Only upgrade this thing got is the storage. This thing used to have a 60GB hard drive, but now it has a 120GB SSD. Though, unfortunately, the storage drive runs through IDE, so the speed up isn't much. This thing also has two issues. First, the battery. The battery doesn't hold a single charge, despite it claiming that it's fully charged. In fact, let me remove it. Yeah, the battery expanded a little bit, so I think it's best to not use it anymore. And the speakers don't work either. At first, I thought it was a driver problem, but even after installing multiple different drivers that work on this thing, there's still no audio output. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to use external speakers to get audio out of this thing. Yep, it works. Other than that, it's still a Windows tablet PC, and that's what's been bothering me. Yeah, we're going to be installing Linux on this thing to see if this thing becomes better with Linux instead of Windows. I have to plug in the USB hub on this thing first. Okay, for some reason, plugging the USB hub caused a short circuit, which made this thing shut off, so you press the Archos button. That way you get the boot selection. Let's boot into the flash drive. And we're installing Q4OS because I heard it's another lightweight Linux distros for old computers apparently, so let's use exactly that. For some reason it seems I have to press enter twice for it to actually boot into the flash drive. The installer looks like Debian. Okay. Use entire disk, or set up LVM, or set up encrypted LVM, or do everything yourself. Use the entire disk, that is the SSD. Alright, so it's created a gigabyte of swap. Considering this thing is a gigabyte of memory RAM, I think it would be best to keep it. Write these changes. The installation is going so slow, it almost seems like it's frozen, but no, it's just really slow. It's almost reaching the end, and for some reason it's just taking a long time to finish installing. Oh, now it's clearing up. Okay, never mind. Now it's installing the grub bootloader. It's looking for other operating system. You mean the one I literally just wiped away from the SSD? Actually, as just now noticed, it's doing the majority of it automatically. It only asks for where they lived in, the language I want to use, the keyboard map, the user password, and that's it. It just does everything else. Installation complete. Press continue to boot. Okay. At this point, we don't need the flash drive anymore. We can just unplug it and wait for this thing to boot into Q4OS. Q4OS Desktop 5.9. Huh, that's probably the first time I see System D without colors. Usually it's green on the OK text, but it's not. Oh, looks like I got the video drivers. That's cool. Failed to start console setup service. We're now booting into the desktop. It seems to be using the Ubuntu cursor. Alright, Q4OS, desktop operating system. Next we have to do is to type the username and the password. Login failed. Okay, now it works. You may want to enlarge text and widget size to improve readability. Click OK to run a configuration tool for screen setup and scaling. Okay. Scaling factor is set to 1.39. What happens if I decrease it? I don't know, it looks cleaner on the screen now. Apply. Wireless network card detected. Wi-Fi support enabled. Click OK to run a Wi-Fi connection tool. Will it show my Wi-Fi? It sure does, though I'll have to censor that unfortunately. Trying to set up wireless network. Where is the password prompt? Connection not successful. Check the Wi-Fi password please. You did not even ask me to type the password in. Am I supposed to do it manually? Oh, there it is. That's where you type the password. Okay, now I ask you what desktop you want. Software profile, select please. Desktop environment, Trinity. What is Trinity? The dialog lets you use an additional desktop environment. Please do not use this option unless you're absolutely sure what you're doing. Software profile. There's a software profile. Full featured desktop with web browser. Common utilities. Ultra minimal desktop. You're free to set up anything yourself. I just want to get on with it, so. Simulation? What does that mean? Alright, I think it just froze again, because moving the mouse does not move the cursor, and pressing the numpad does nothing either. Nor does the caps lock. Wow, that's great. This thing just froze again. Guess I'm gonna have to force shut it off again. I swear, the thing usually doesn't freeze like that. It never froze like that before. I wonder, since this thing's froze during operation, will we go back to the same setup as we were before? Huh, no, it's launching the desktop instead. Well, the problem is that it hasn't finished installing everything it was supposed to install for a full desktop experience, other than Trinity. Yeah, I was going to point out Trinity seems like an old version of KDE. Welcome to Q4 OS. Fast and powerful desktop. Focus on long-term stability, reliability, and classic style user interface. Okay. Run desktop profiler. What's that? Oh, it's the same setup thing that we were at earlier. I guess we'll try that again and see if that works. Exited with code 104. Whoops. Okay. I think it's because DPKG has been interrupted. Well, I blame this system for freezing during the middle of install. Oh no, that's not the problem. The problem is that it's no longer connected to the internet. And even after attempting to connect to the Wi-Fi, it's still not connected. Like, what happened? Did the configuration file get corrupted? Guess I'll have to do this again. Okay, now I think we're on a bigger problem. It doesn't seem to be finding any Wi-Fi hotspot. Almost as if the Wi-Fi card has been disabled. Now, how do I check for that? Okay, this is an option called Disable Wireless. I checked this and now, there's still nothing. Alright, something is up. Why is it not what the heck? The application crashed and it's caused the signal 11. Huh, okay. Alright, so all I did is restart the whole system and now it works. Well, I guess the restart fixes everything. Attempt 3 at installing everything. Okay, just as I thought, things will be going fine this time. It froze again. The mouse is no longer moving, nor did the keyboard response. Oh no, not again. This might be caused by two things. One, the CPU was overheating, and the other one, it might be because the power supply is probably dying. Or it might not just be giving enough power to make this thing fully function. The power supply this thing comes with outputs at 12 volts and 3 amps. And I believe this is just enough to get this thing to work. So I believe it's more of a CPU overheating issue. Which sort of makes sense considering this thing has no fans inside, so... The BIOS does provide an option that allows to control the CPU. The tripping point is set to 95 degrees Celsius, but I usually set it to 71 because I don't want this thing to start melting. So what if I just leave it at 95 this time, instead of 71 degrees? Maybe it was because it was actually surpassing 71 degrees Celsius. Well, never mind, changing that setting in the BIOS did not change this problem. The mouse still stopped moving, and so did the keyboard. Well, this is a problem, because if I want to have a full experience, I have to install everything. Every time I try to install everything, this computer freezes right in the middle of it. So, honestly, this thing would have freezing issues. Like, I never had this thing freeze on me before. This is like the first time it started happening. If the problem really is the system overheating, then I think I may have a solution in this. Yep, it is time to disassemble this thing, and it's removed. And there's the CPU, it's right here, I just know it, okay? This is the SSD, this is where the battery would be, and this is the Wi-Fi card. You don't need to know more than that. This metal thing is used as a heatsink for the CPU and the chipset, so it works. So now all I'll have to do is placing the tablet. I think I'm gonna place it like this, and now I should cool down the tablet while it's on. Well, this setup unexpectedly turned janky. First I need a keyboard and mouse, and now I need a cooler behind it. And some of you are going to ask, why don't I use the touchscreen? It doesn't work. That's why I don't use the touchscreen. Alright, now let's see if it freezes once again, and it still does. The mouse is not moving, nor is the keyboard, so maybe it's not an overheating issue. Oh, okay, so it has a screensaver that basically shows a clock. Is it time accurate though? 1857. Seems to be it. Other than that, we're nearing the end of the installation, and it hasn't froze this time. So I guess I was right. It really was an overheating issue. Oh, sorry. The wind, yeah, I know. Ah, finally, it's finished. Please relog in access session as soon as possible. Okay. Notifying apps will log out. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Alright, and we're back. Finally, it's all done setting up. Despite the fact that it literally just froze 3 times during this operation. And my best bet is that it was overheating, so I set this up. But now, I think we can start and try to use this thing while it's running Linux. So first and foremost, the desktop is called Trinity, which needs to be old KDE revived. And funnily enough, it looks like Windows XP. Well, for the most part at least. There's no background, it's just a bluish screen. What's the file manager on this? Oh, it's the old Concure. How do you pronounce that? I'm not German. The Trinity desktop environment was born as a fork of the K-desktop environment versions 3.5, which was originally developed by the KDE team. Okay. Well, what is literally the first thing you do on a computer? Oh, I know. Browse the internet. Time to open Chromium. Assuming that it won't slow down the heck out of this thing. It will. I know it. Just watch. Okay, so surprisingly, it opened Chromium. It's surprising to me because this thing only has a gig of RAM. And even though it has a gig of swap, you probably need more than that to open Chromium. Or a web page at that. Make Chromium faster. Memory saver frees up memory from inactive tabs. So if I turn it on, will it immediately disable a tab? So despite me basically Google Chrome without the proprietary codes that is on Google Chrome, it's still pretty much Google Chrome. You can change the theme to dark to make it fit with the device that is completely black. Though it doesn't look good. Well, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna keep it anyways, whatever. Anyways, so it works, which is already surprising to me. Oh, there's HTOP installed. Oh yeah, this thing's processor supports hyper-threading, so yeah. And it's already using swap. Though not by much, it's also not using so much memory RAM. Let's try visiting 2 websites. First and foremost, the old Reddit. Now, despite the slow loading times, once it's loaded, I'm pretty sure the site is pretty much usable. Well, as long as you use the old Reddit. How about 4chan? Oh, a verification is required. That's so good. Oh, and it also uses Cloudflare's verification. Stuck? Troubleshoot. I don't believe I'm stuck. What even is it doing? Wow, it's pushing the CPU to its limits. Now that placed a fan behind it. And for some reason the page refreshed. And it's now doing the same thing that pegs the CPU at max. Alright, I've waited several minutes and we're still stuck on the page where it checks if we're in a bot or not. And the problem is, the system is so slow that it thinks it's taking too long, it gives up, it refreshes, and tries again. It does not realize that we're using a really slow computer. Speaking of, what is the processor on this thing again? An Intel Atom Z515. Anyways, can you go to Wikipedia on this thing? Page unresponsive. That's a new one. Oh, never mind. Now it works. Yeah, it does work. No, again, it's not smooth, but it was the same with Reddit, so I'm not surprised. Let's search about Linux. It is found the Linux article. And we're now in the Linux article. And funnily enough, it's not a dark theme. Well, at least it managed to load the Linux article. That's what's important. Okay, all I did is right click here, and for some reason it opened all the 3 bookmarks. I did not do that. Anyways, moving on, can you watch YouTube on this thing? My best guess is absolutely not. Page unresponsive. Again? Oh, and now it's gone. Alright, finally YouTube web page loaded. Now all I have to do is scroll down, reject all, because who cares really. And now we're going to search for our favorite video, the 4K 60 FPS video. Our favorite video is not in this playlist. It's right here. It's Costa Rica in 4K 60 FPS with HDR. Weirdly enough, it doesn't say HDR in here. It only says 4K. You love to see it. The page unresponsive message. Who is to blame here? YouTube for heavily bloating their website, or Intel for making the worst processor? I clicked on the settings icon multiple times and it still hasn't showed up. Besides, it's also showing this page unresponsive. It shows up for 5 seconds, then it disappears, and then 15 seconds later it comes back. Okay, finally, now we have it open. Alright, first of all, we don't need ambient mode, we don't need annotations, we don't need stable volumes either. And we're going to change the resolution, or the quality, to 144p. Because I believe that if the video can't even play smoothly at 144p, then this system just straight up cannot stream from YouTube. Alright, do you think it will play smoothly or not? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1. It's playing. It may look awful, but it's actually playing. Okay, really, it looks awful. It's not even playing smoothly either, but it's still playing. Can we get stats for nerds? Wow, the blur. Oh yeah, it's definitely dropping frames. Huh, but it's not dropping frames anymore. Maybe because there's not much going on in the video. Okay, now it's dropping frames. Okay, stats for nerds is not even updating frequently. That's how slow this thing is. Okay, it only plays the video smoothly for a short amount of time before it stops playing smoothly and it just goes like that. I don't know. Seems to be playing smoothly to me. Almost. It's still dropping frames, but if you wait a minute, now I think the video is sort of watchable. Well, that's enough internet for today. Okay, it may not be able to stream video from YouTube, but how about just playing a video file as a whole? How about we play the same video except I downloaded it, and I also converted it into MPEG 2 because I heard MPEG 2 plays smoother on these old hardwares than MPEG 4, H.264, H.265, or AV1, whatever they use now. Let's play this one at 360. Oh, what? Okay, now it works. It seems drag and dropping doesn't work, so you have to select the file manually. Okay, the video may not look good, but that's because I rushed converting the videos, so... But it doesn't seem to be playing smoothly here either. Like it's playing the audio smoothly, but on the video side of things, it's dropping a whole lot of frames. Well then, it might just be me, but seems playing videos on this thing is not good. Okay, it may not be able to play a single video, but how about writing a document? It comes with LibreOffice installed, so I guess we'll use that. It's getting darker every minute. No, still not good enough. Alright, much better. And we're finally on LibreOffice, so I said write a document, right? Tip of the day. Did you know LibreOffice provides a variety of user interface? Yeah, I know that. Anyways, to write a document, what to write? I do not know. I don't know, seems to be doing it fine. I mean, running a document is a really easy task to commit, so I'm not surprised it doesn't struggle in that. Though it takes a while to load the fonts. There's nothing special. I'm pretty sure every single computers from the 90s all the way up to today is capable of doing that perfectly. Alright, how about we create a presentation file? Alright, so with LibreOffice, there exists a variety of templates. Debian Talk? Never heard of that. I'm not going to use a template, I'm just going to do something simple. I don't know. Did you know we can insert 3D objects on LibreOffice? Let's see if this computer is capable of handling it. It seems like it, but it's not smooth. It's also taking a while. What the heck? I'm trying to move it. Okay, now it moves. Okay, now how about you spin it around? Well, it takes a long time to render, so maybe don't use 3D objects. How about we add a graph in it? Yeah, here we go, a chart. I'm not cheating that. I'm trying to move it, dude. Well, it does take a while for it to exit out the chart editor, but once done, you can move it around and it's not smooth. Does it actually use hardware render? UI render, default. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Enough LibreOffice. What else does Q4OS have that I have yet to test? Terminal? Well, maybe the terminal? I don't know. I only installed like one thing. It's called Screen Fetch, which shows the specs in a neo-fetch way. God, it takes a while. Oh, you can't even see the Debian logo. Yeah, Q4OS is based on Debian. Oh, okay. Now I know why it's sluggish. Because it's not even using hardware render. It's actually using software render. If you know what LLVM pipe means. So you're telling me this whole time we weren't even using hardware acceleration? Apparently this has games. Let's see what games there are. Bounce ball game. Looks like a simple game. How do you play this though? Oh, now they bounce. What am I supposed to do? Game over. I don't know how to play this. I've never seen this game before. Minesweeper-like game. So basically Minesweeper. Oh, I lost. Where's the part where it literally gets rid of... There it is. Ah, there we go. Oh, I lost. Aside from Google Chromium, we also have web browser. Okay, that works. But is it lighter than Chromium? Well, already it's using less memory RAM. So can you go to a website like 4chan, like the site we couldn't go to before? No, it's going to do the same thing again. Though, will it work this time? Well, my best guess is no, because is this browser being updated anymore? Yeah, I doubt it's doing anything. Will YouTube work fine this time? I believe YouTube is not even loading. Yeah, so the browser might be better, more lightweight, but it's not as capable as Chromium. So, oh, never mind. It turns out it's frozen. Funnily enough, the browser only uses one out of the 2 threads. On the Q4OS welcome screen, there's a big button that says Install Applications. What application can we install exactly? Oh, okay, it looks like it relies on APT. HP drivers. GIMP. Would you do photoshopping on this? Krita. Would you even draw on this tablet? Actually, let's talk about the touchscreen situation. What? Computer's so slow, Google decided to mark me as a bot. I think it's the same situation with Cloudflare because it's been 3 minutes and it's still loading. Unless if it's actually loading, but it's doing it so slowly. I doubt it's doing anything because the CPU isn't even pegged at maximum. Well, actually, it is doing a bit, but I'm pretty sure it's only rendering the animation. So the touchscreen for this thing is made by eGalaxy Touch. Right here, this is the website to download the official drivers for Windows, Linux, Android, macOS, QNX, whatever. We're here for the Linux drivers, so the drivers are apparently still being updated. They also provide an ARM-based driver, so maybe that'll be useful. Now to extract the contents. How do you do that though? Add folder, extract, setup.sh. Let's try opening a terminal from here. Alright, and now to open that setup.sh file. Is it not finding it? Permission denied. Oh, it's not an executable. First, mark it as an executable before executing it. You need to root permission. Okay, do you agree with this? I mean, let's pretend we did. Interface, PS3. Please confirm the touch is linked with your device. It already is anyways. Do you have a requirement of monitor rotation or multiple monitor? Not really. No PS2 mouse driver found. Alright, so what if we used RS-232 instead? There's also USB, but I highly doubt it's passing through USB. For the first time, this thing got a proper reboot. The touchscreen works now, right? Nope, still doesn't work. And yet, weirdly enough, it worked on Windows, so why is it not working on Linux? I don't know. All I know is that it turns out the touchscreen passes through PS2 and not USB. And Linux, for some reason, does not recognize it, but Windows does. And I was able to install the drivers on Windows too, so there was a chance maybe I actually got the wrong drivers. Other than that, I think I've pretty much done everything you can do with this thing under Linux at least. Well, now I can clean off this mess.